What's up, everyone? So today I want to I want to talk about social media and uh, you know, different individuals looking to either grow their social media platform. Whether it's individual brand as yourself, whether it's your business, something that you started, you know, recently or years ago, months ago. One thing that I've noticed in working with different people is that they don't realize that different platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, the audiences have different attention span. And the audiences also are looking for something else. So one thing in particular, and if there's a marketer out there that wants to have this conversation with me or disagrees, in Instagram, it's a lot of entertainment in the sense of things being flashy. Um, because Instagram is more cool. It's more, it's more, uh, yeah, it's the new age. It's the new age app, right? Then you're looking for YouTube, and YouTube audiences there are trying to learn something. I mean, really learn something. And their attention span is a lot longer. It's more than the 30 seconds or the 15-second stories. Where you have in stories, it's 15 seconds, and then now reels. I think they're like 30 seconds or something like that. But that's one thing that you need to know. Your strategy has to match which platform you're using, and essentially you can use them all simultaneously. However, you'll have to consistently change your approach and your format to what platform you're engaging with, right? Because I mean, you can essentially record the same thing for all platforms, but the way it's distributed has to be very different, very very different. And the way I look at that is similar to, let's say, uh, Burger King. Just coming up with random thought. Burger King. Now the burger, the way it's made, all that is essentially the same throughout the world, right? U.S., Canada, Brazil, South America, Africa, you name it. It's all the same. The marketing in it will be different. The way the burger is presented would be different. Like even some of the slogans would be different. Like, for instance, well, actually, I'll take away from Burger King. I'll say McDonald's. McDonald's here in Brazil, they don't even call it McDonald's. Like, there are certain places that actually have it called Mackie, which is spelled Mequi, and you can look that up. So it's not even McDonald's. They actually just they put Mackie because they've nicknamed it that, Mackie. And you can Google that. You can fact check me on that. But so that's what I want. I want anyone that is looking to do marketing, anyone that's looking to do branding and advertising, to understand that each platform will have their different format. That's probably the best way to put it. In distributing it to the public, right? Same way for, like I said, like I mentioned, McDonald's, right? McDonald's, the way it's distributed in the U.S. is different than the way it's distributed in Brazil. It's different than the way it's distributed in London, in Paris, right? And it's all cultural, right? So Instagram has its own culture, Facebook has its own culture, Twitter has its own culture, and we can even go as far as LinkedIn has its own culture, right? So certain things that you post on Instagram in terms of, I don't know, a photo, you know, that photo may hit. And when I mean hit, it may go well on Instagram, right? You may get 50, 60, 70, 100 likes. But on LinkedIn, it won't do anything, right? Because it's a different audience. People are looking for something else on LinkedIn, right? They may be looking for networking, looking for who they're going to hire. They may be looking for an employer, right? Or networking in the sense of like building a collaboration, right? Or even a mastermind. So you have to take into consideration the platform you're using, the audience, and how you're going to format that to distribute that to your audience. Now, that's not something I generally or anyone would generally know. So that's not to to talk down on people. No, that's not common knowledge, if you will, right? Like even social media now for I guess anyone typically I'd say because not everyone, right? We're all at different age groups and all different areas and parts of our lives, no matter what age you are. But someone, let's say 45 or 50 and over, may not be as savvy with social media as someone in their 20s. However, it's not to say that someone 45 can't learn or is not, or I'm sorry, or isn't savvy, right? Because if you could just teach them and explain it to them, they'll catch that. But maybe somebody that's 20 years old, although they're they're hip to social media, that doesn't necessarily mean that anything that you tell them will click in terms of formatting and distributing that information, right? So I just want to share that because that's something that I've been studying. Is something that I've been looking at throughout doing marketing, throughout doing advertising and branding for other companies. And believe it or not, for me, I find branding and advertising and marketing a lot more difficult for myself than it is to do it for someone else. Because when you're doing it for someone else, and now I say I've gotten way better at marketing and branding and advertising myself and put myself out there. But in the beginning, yes, it was like I really didn't care in the sense of doing what I do for work for others to do it for myself. Like it just didn't click. It didn't register, or I'd say I never really had a strategy, and that's one of the biggest takeaways that I have now for a lot of people, is that you have to have a strategy, and that goes for essentially anything that you're doing in business. You have to have a strategy, or else you can't necessarily look back at your progress, and you can't teach people what you've done, right? You can't speak about what you've done because you have no idea how you did what you did, and there's no you can't really grow from that, right? So it's better to have, and I'm not saying you need to have a business plan printed out and designed for you, because that may not necessarily be the case for you, right? You may just have a couple, 1, 2, 3 steps, and then you're just gonna, go with the flow but you're gonna have an essential, right? You're gonna have these top things that I'm gonna do daily, and then wherever that goes, wherever that leads me to, I'm gonna go with that. But I'm gonna have a foundation, if you will, of things that I'm going to do, and then take it from there. So that's fine. That's completely fine. That is still a strategy. Might not be, very in depth or profound, but it's still a strategy. So nonetheless, and I'm saying that so that you don't take away from whatever approach you're doing or whatever project you're working on. Doesn't matter if you're building a business with 100 employees, or you have a business with 2 employees, or maybe it's just you. Whatever it is, don't downplay what you're doing, because I promise you the rest of the world is going to do that anyways, right? So you stay focused, stay confident, stay persistent on what you're doing, and it, it, things will play themselves out. You just have to stay persistent. That's it. So, guys, I hope you got some takeaway from that in terms of social media, finding out what platform you're going to use, how you're going to market that information, and I'm sorry, how you're going to market your brand and advertise, and how you're going to format it to distribute it to your audience and potential clients. All right. So once again, if you like this, if it helped you out in some way, uh, please share with me, any information that you have on this, or 2 cents that we can, build off of. Please like this video, comment. I love to engage, and this is social media. This is what we're supposed to be doing, engaging in this format other than, person to person. So like, comment, and share to anyone that you feel this could help out, and then they could also build with us too. So take care, guys. Love you.